Let's tell the truth about the pro-Hamas protests littering the streets of Toronto and cities across the country. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. We had another shameful protest that took over big parts of the streets of downtown Toronto on the weekend. It was an al-Quds Day protest. This is a day that was invented by the Islamic Republic of Iran after the 1979 revolution to protest the existence of Israel. That's how it started. That's still how it's going. And rather than talk about the fact that we had thousands of people marching in a parade to celebrate a day invented by the mullahs in Tehran, we're debating whether this guy here is wearing a suicide vest or a replica suicide vest or something made to look like a suicide vest or just a bandana to hold his smoke grenades, which you're not even supposed to use at a protest in the city. It's a bit of a joke of a debate, but this is where they want to have it. This man spotted, posted on Twitter, Conservative MP Melissa Landsman, probably the loudest voice that put it out there, saying, look, this is what we've got now, someone wearing what looks like a replica of a suicide vest. Of course, lots of people said, oh, it's not a suicide vest. They ran to the defense of this man. Look, here's my take on this part. If you're going to walk around the streets of Toronto at an al-Quds Day protest organized by organizations that back terrorist groups like the Samuddin, which backs the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, or the Palestinian Youth Movement, which has long held up fighters in Hamas and other groups as heroes. If you're going to march in a parade organized by these groups, celebrating al-Quds Day, chanting only one solution, intifada revolution, and from the river to the sea, and you're going to wear something that looks like a suicide vest or a replica, don't be shocked when people do. I mean, you're exposing yourself already. That and wearing sweaters with upside down triangles, one of the Hamas symbols for targeting people. These are not peaceful protests, and that's really what we should be talking about, not whether it is or isn't a replica suicide vest. These protests are organized by groups that back terrorism, that back Hamas, that back other groups that believe in armed resistance. Take Samuddin, the group that shows up with the banner that says resistance, has the AK-47 shooting bullets out of it with the Palestinian flag painted on the butt. That is the banner they show up with every time. Their international organizer, Charlotte Cates, based out of Vancouver, is on the record saying that all forms of armed resistance should be celebrated. She is backing 100% what Hamas believes in and what Hamas has done since October 7th and beyond. And this is one of the groups organizing these weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, protests in Toronto, and this is okay. The other group, the Palestinian Youth Movement, has long portrayed the fighters, the terrorists in Hamas as martyrs. In fact, there have been specific days where the protest marches, the rallies have been about honoring our martyrs. And this is okay. We're not going to talk about the fact that these are marches where no one calls on Hamas to accept any terms for a ceasefire. They just call on Israel for a ceasefire. They don't call on Hamas to release the hostages. They don't call on Hamas to stop using Palestinian civilians as human shields. It's all about celebrating the resistance, calling for an intifada, and calling for genocide of Jews in Israel with chants of from the river to the sea. These are not peaceful protests. This is not something that we should be tolerating, but it's something that 6 city councilors in Toronto wrote an open letter to the police criticizing the police for doing their job in monitoring and dealing with these protests. We've gotten to an unbelievable point in this country. And as I wrote in a column on the weekend, it's no wonder Jews in this country do not feel safe or welcome anymore. We're allowing this to happen on our streets. Some people outright encouraging it. It's a shame. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.